Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my new subscribers.
Yeah, JB in the building. Cowboy fan, but he keep it real, no filter. West Coast knock with that Lone Star pain. Talking truth, why they sugarcoat the game. JB on the mic, yeah, he spitting that truth, silver and blue, but he ain't wearing nose tinted view. Sunday pain got him leaning in the booth, breaking down plays while they feed us the spoof. Shotty on the sideline, looking lost in the sauce, too soft with the cause, yeah, he scared of the cost. Whining in the press, never taking a loss, but the locker room weak when the leader ain't boss. JB wanted tape, calling plays out loud, like what kind of system make a fan this proud? Turn critic real quick, now he drawing that crowd, cause he say what they think but won't say it out loud. JB say straight, no cap in his tone. Cowboys looking shaky, yeah, he letting it be known. From the playbook week to the contracts blown, he gon' speak that truth every time he on the phone. JB say straight, yeah, he keep it raw. If you riding for the star, better peep that flaw. Ain't no blind faith when you seen it all fall. He a Cowboy fan, but he question it all. Dak on the center, but the fire ain't lit. Big game moments and he never quite fit. Stats look clean, but the wins don't hit. Playoff time come, yeah, it all go split. JB say, man, I've been watching too long. Same script every year, same tired song. Big check sign, but the roster go wrong. While the real top dogs keep moving on strong. No big names coming, just hype and a dream. Draft night misses got him losing his steam. First round bust got him ready to scream. Like how we rebuild when we stuck in between. He ain't hating nah, he just tired of the spin. Every offseason promised in the same old end. JB say loud, yeah, the future look bleak. Same QB story, same cycle every week. No elite moves, just a talking cheap. While the real contenders stacking up deep. JB say loud, he ain't buying a hype. Contracts bloated, yeah, the math ain't right. From the front office down to game night. He a Cowboy fan, but he ready to fight. JB sitting back like, man, what it gon' take? Years going by, still the same mistake. But around mediocrity, call it a stake. In the heart of the fans, every season they break. Shotty still soft, act still the same. Front office moving like it's all a game. No aggression in the moves, no hunger for fame. Just collecting them checks while they ruin the name. JB got the podcast buzzing every night. Fans tune in cause he keep it airtight. No sugarcoat takes, just facts in a fight for a team that ain't been built right. He still rock the star, but his trust real low. Till they change that core, he ain't switching his tone. From the mic to the screen, yeah, the whole world know JB the Cowboy fan, keep exposing the show. JP keep it real, yeah, he still gon' ride. But he calling out the flaws, they be trying to hide. No blind love, just the truth with pride. Through the lows and the doubt, yeah, he still gon' ride. JP keep it real, that's the code he live. If the team don't change, ain't no hope to give. But he stay on the mic, got the truth to give. He a Cowboy fan, that's the life he lives.
Yeah, truth over hype, every time. JB the Cowboy fan, speaking for the real ones. Yeah. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my new subscribers. Yeah.
Yo. What's good? It's been a minute, y'all, since I went live, so man, let me go live, man. I miss my peoples. But I kind of just want to get everybody's opinion on what's going on with this first game of the season going up against the Giants. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I want to hear people's opinions and their thoughts about what this first game against the Giants. Who got the best defensive front? Because to me, the trenches is what's going to be who wins this game. And I think we're going to have a problem with stopping the run. But I want to hear people's take on that because I don't think our draft I don't think our defense philosophy is about stopping the run. I don't think Christian Parker specialized in the front. He specialized in the secondary. That's why our first pick was a safety. I get it, we need a safety, but I think we could have went in the trenches so we could stop the run. But hey, who am I? What up, Mills? Well. What he talking about, Mills? what the hell he talking about? But I'm see. Look at Let's see here. I know we got. You know what I'm saying. I'm just looking at our front. I ain't really worried about our secondary or whatever. I'm just worried about the front because to me, shit, that's the meat of the defense, the heart of the defense to me. You got Quentin Williams, Otito Obanya from San Diego, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, DeMarvion Overshown, D. Winters, Donovan Ezaraku. So that's gonna be our starting front. Yeah, what's that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our front seven right there. So I guess this Leo Fale gonna be on the. Yeah, he gonna be the backup. Shit, matter of fact, he ain't even. Oh, he linebacker. Yeah, but so he must gonna be yeah. You know, they ain't even got him. Oh, there we go. Third string. Oh shit, on this motherfucker, they got him as a start. Yeah, because at one point he was gonna be the starting outside back. Now they got D Winner, so now he third string and shit. Man, let's check out. Let's check out. Let's check out the Giants front. Shit, Shelby Harris. Hold on, let me make sure I got that. Yeah, Shelby Harris, DJ Reader. Here's Alexander, Brian Burns, Arvell Reese, Jamon Edmonds, Kayvon Thibodeau with Abdul Carter on the backup, Michael Fadden, Chauncey Golston. Hey, shit. Shit. I don't know. It look like some competition over there on that front with the Giants. Shit. Mills, I ain't gonna lie. I think we are in trouble. We better get off to a fast start. Yeah. And I think that also has to do with our starters playing the preseason too, Mills. They don't want to admit that shit, but I think our starters need to play in preseason. What's up, Miss Matrix? What's good, JP? Not much. Just trying to see what y'all think we're gonna do against these Giants. How this front seven gonna stop the run? And shit, basically, how they gonna disrupt our offense? Cause I don't know, man. I'm kind of giving a little edge to the Giants front, better than ours. I don't know. It's gonna be some good competition. This is what I'm gonna be looking at in this game. Our front, can we stop the run? Yes, sir. Sport, what's up, man? Those inside LBs are trash. That delusion, what's good? Giants has a better edge rushers. Okay. What about D tackle? I think the Giants got the best. I mean, man, this I guess I'm leaning towards the Giants a little bit, man, because I think they're gonna be able to stop the run. You know, better than us. Because I don't think Christian Parker has a specialty or understand the philosophy and stopping the run and what you can do. I don't know because it looks like more they trying to get him or they're trying to attack our secondary. I get it, but if you can't stop the run, you ain't gonna be able to do shit. And to me, basically, that's been kind of sort of the problem with our defenses at times is where we can't stop the run consistently. I think we need to be more, consistent in stopping the run than trying to. So we got a lot of interceptions with Dan Quinn. We got a lot of takeaways, but run stopping was a problem. Even under Dan Quinn, I gotta admit that at times stopping the run was an issue, a big issue. especially late in games sometimes. But I've been yapping tripping trenches for the last couple years. Like it's steady going to the offense though, but they try to do something this drive, but it's to me I'm still questionable about being able to stop the run and building the big trenches because that's gonna be the battle. Who gonna succeed? That's why I think this is gonna be a crucial first game, man. We come out and we can't do nothing against this Giants front on offense. They're praising that this offense is number one. Oh, they already counting this as a W. Dak fanboy Slurpees, hell, the media, everybody, oh, the Cowboys gonna beat the Giants. This is a given. I don't think it's a given. I don't think it's a given. Miss Matrix, serious question, JB. If the Giants moves made them good enough to finally beat us, why aren't our moves good enough to beat the Cardinals? Hey, Miss Matrix. We got an issue with the Cardinals. It don't matter who the quarterback is either. Especially under that. It don't matter. I don't know what that is. Just like we can't beat the Broncos for shit either. But yeah, you're right, Miss Matrix. That damn that's crazy. The sport that's about to beat up on the Giants secondary in week one, enter the MVP conversation, and then immediately exit in the moment he plays the defense with a pulse. So you don't believe in the Giants front. Okay. I think they're gonna get pressure on his ass. I don't think he's gonna be able to handle that front. Mm-mm. But Harbaugh, he defensive minded. People say what they want to say in the media, and some players and coaches they'll lift that up. But when they go to play him and scheme against him, that's a totally different story because they're trying to win. It ain't all butterflies and sunflowers when they go up. You know what I'm saying? When they going up against them, but when they talking about them in the press or the media or they going up against, nah, bro, that delusional. Oh no, that Giant defense going on lock Dak and the fools go offense down. Hey, that's why I keep saying this first game against the Giants. This is not no. I don't think it's a gimme. I think the last few years this division has changed, man. I don't think the Giants and the Commanders are gimmies anymore. I don't think so. Like the Giants has a secondary now also. Hey, did they get a cornerback in the draft? Well, I think Giants DTs are a big liability now after trading Dexter Lawrence. So I think Dallas will run the ball well. Okay. Good observation, man. That's a good observation. I hope we can. I hope we can. Miss Matrix, they might not be too rusty seeing they got to scrimmage the Rams again. So they scrimmaging the Rams again. They scrimmaged them last season and got abused. They got abused against the Rams in scrimmage. Didn't we play them in the preseason? I think so. I think we did. But all the talk was about what the Cowboys did. But no, I seen some family start seeing shit what the Rams did against us. Man, and we gotta do it again. Man, but all the hype I'm hearing in this ain't even voluntary, man. And they talking about how good the Cowboys is already, how they getting on page and man, they ain't put no pads on. We ain't seen nothing. That's why I don't really be. I can't make videos like that. I'm sorry, man. I can't make videos on updates and goddamn non-voluntary training camp shit. This ain't even the real shit, man. They ain't even got no pads on yet, and they already praising these players, these rookies already. It's major. That's what I heard, JB. It's because the Cowboys and Oxnard are close proximity to the Rams, I guess. Yeah. So they gonna see shit. They finna see damn who they just got from the Browns. The sack leader. We already seen that guy when he played for the Browns, and he was an out shit. He was sacking that. He sacked that like twice. Hmm. Sport. The Cowboys are going to start 2-0 after beating the Giants and Commanders. That will be the MVP favorite, and I'll be taking out a second mortgage to bet the Ravens. Excuse me. If they do start 2-0 the sport, yeah, they gonna be hollering MVP. Yep. I'm telling you, what's crazy is Matthew Stafford had 46 touchdowns and 8 picks. Dak Prescott had 30 touchdowns and 10 picks. And they hollering he had one of the best seasons in his career. This is a juggernaut of an offense, and he only threw 30 touchdowns, man. Come on, they need to stop that shit. For real. Yeah, you might have a good point on that one, the sport. He gonna win. He gonna beat the Giants and Commanders, which he's known for beating and running. And what's crazy is no matter what team they have, but I don't know. I just have a feeling that from these last couple of years, I don't think they're gonna be pushovers like that no more for Dak Prescott. I just don't think so. It seemed like history might say it, but to me, this is gonna be the wake up call for this guy. He ain't gonna be able to push over the Giants and the Commanders like he used to. Just measure the sport. We better drag the Ravens. All this time and money I've invested. Fuck no. Miss Majors, you on one tonight, ain't you? Just like a lot of our fans have, Miss Matrix. We invest a lot of time and money and our emotions in this team. They better be a team like the Ravens, a good team. Shit, why should we expect anything less? Just like the sports said, 2-0, and everybody's saying, "Oh, they're just giving us the Giants and the Commanders right off the rip." As soon as you get to the Ravens, they say, "No, they're not gonna beat the Ravens." But then you got to come back and go on the road and play the Texans. So we looking at 2-2. We looking at 2-2 right off the rip. That's 500. Shit.
JB, the man, what's up, man?
What's up, champ? What's good with you, man?
Man, I finally got you on the live.
Yes, sir. I ain't went live in a minute though, man. It's been about a month.
Yeah, but you know what? Just to answer the question, which defensive player is better? The Giants.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's the Giants. You know
I hate-
what? Even though the Cowboys, be honest, we still don't know if they're gonna run a 4-3 or a 3-4.
Well, the Giants running the 3-4.
Yeah, Giants definitely running 3-4, and then just their linebackers alone make them a better defensive front than the Cowboys.
Mm.
But if the Cowboys stick to a 4-3, I may have to give the edge to the Cowboys.
Nah, I agree with that, champ. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
because especially with I'm sorry, especially with Williams and Clark. All thing you gotta do is try to find two people on the outside. So, I mean, man, like I said, man, looking at the Giants, by them getting Reese, and then they already got Um, Abdul Carter from last year, and they still got two more good linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a hard-barred system. And then they picked up, I think while talking to Dane Savage, they actually picked up a big old defensive tackle too.
Yeah. Shit, they got some big boys on defense though. They averaging like 6'4".
Man. And
They
then
like
while we look
too.
and then while we looking at the Cowboys' old small fragile ass defense, thinking that they're gonna do something this year.
Yeah, man. I'm hey, I hate to say it, man. What if we start 0-2, 0-3? Lose to the Giants, the Commanders, and the Ravens.
I can see it. I can see them going 0-5 starting out.
Oh shit, for real? Oh,
Yeah.
the Ravens. Who after the Ravens? The Texans. On the road.
That's 0-4.
Man, bro.
And who have the Texans?
I don't know. Let me see if I can pull that schedule up. Let me see something. The Texans. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's pull this shit up. So the Giants, Commanders, Baltimore. We got Tampa Bay at home and Green Bay on the road. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first 6 games right there.
Damn, man. If they don't know what, if they don't beat either the Giants, no, I got to lose to the Giants. But if they don't beat Washington at home, man, it could get ugly real quick, fast, in a hurry.
So I think the consensus right now, we'll beat the Giants. But you think the Commanders will give us a tougher battle than the Giants?
And I think the Giants would give Cowboys a tougher battle than the Commanders.
Okay.
I mean, just because they got a new sheriff in town. And then think about the last game against the Giants. Man, be honest, think about both games against the Giants from last year.
We could have went 0. They could have swept us last season.
Yeah, so we lucky that we split because the second game, Dak won the play to boost up his stats, but the Giants made him go on the bench early.
Yeah. Set his ass down.
Sure did. And then people talking about Cowboy defense is going to be better. And then I'm still hearing all this hype about the Cowboys might be a playoff team.
Shit, they saying they Super Bowl bound, not just playoff.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Pete, you know what? One thing I know about the Cowboy fans and the media, they have a very short memory. It's just like an abusive relationship. Every time you want to leave, but you go back and continue to get your ass kicked.
Hey, but look at this though. At the Baltimore, we got at Houston versus Tampa Bay, to Green Bay, at Philly, and versus the Cardinals.
And you know what? Until proven otherwise, I got the Arizona Cardinals game as a loss as well.
Yep, me too. Me too, because we haven't beat them with 3 different damn quarterbacks.
Yep. Including quarterback didn't have no hair or eyebrows.
Well, he was a damn rocket scientist or some shit.
Yeah, a rocket scientist.
But that got a psychology degree or some shit, so he got a math.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I thought Dak do have a master's degree or something.
But I guess it ain't good enough as a rocket scientist because he couldn't beat goddamn Joshua Dobbs.
So man, dog just he dissected the Cowboys that game. And then don't forget, and you know what? That game was with Parsons.
Yeah, the first play of the damn near of the game, he shook Parsons and ran that bitch 60 some yards.
Yep.
Hmm.
They did last year game. The Cowboys offensive line made the Arizona Cardinals defensive line look like the '85 Bears or somebody.
So
And then that was their last game that they won was against the Cowboys.
the Cardinals. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, so what they went 3-14, right?
3-14, yeah.
God damn. And one of their wins was against us.
And it was a blowout too.
Man. So then we go after the Cardinals, we go to Indianapolis, at home to San Fran, at home to and then at home to Philly. So we get 3 home games after that Indianapolis game. And then I don't think Indianapolis is a pushover either.
Now, people thinking that I think because remember last year the Colts before their quarterback got hurt, they were the leading contenders for the Super Bowl in the AFC.
Yep.
And when that quarterback went out, that's when they fell apart.
God damn.
49ers, I hate that team. Hate it with a passion. Just like the Eagles.
But we can't beat them.
But I think they going. I think Cowboys too, until proven otherwise. Tennessee.
Oh, that's
man, the Cowboys. I give the edge to Cowboys, but man, that's gonna be such a hissing and meowing fight right there.
Just because we're at home, I'll give us that dub.
Yeah. Eagles, we probably beat them.
Yeah, we'll
Can't
split.
talk about the Eagles.
Yeah, we'll split with them.
Yeah.
You know. And then at Seattle Monday night.
Oh yeah, Seattle. Oh, if Lawrence there too, oh man, he might have a career there against Cowboys.
Man, that's gonna be a good ass game right there, though. Clock Cowboy, Barham, Gary seem like goons. I like their demeanor. I want to see. I hope.
Okay. Now with the Rams picking up Garrett. Now OG got the Cowboys beating the Rams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In LA.
Yeah.
That's I had to wait and see. I can't even call that game right there. I had to wait and see.
Jags, Giants, and Commanders. Oh. See, those games right there, that far down, it's really kind of hard to predict which way it may go because you got to deal with injuries, the standings on each team and stuff.
Possible playoff contention.
Yep. And plus the fact that people still hate the Cowboys, so.
The sports say, y'all watched Shotty's press conference yesterday. The guy will make an excellent youth car. Yeah, I noticed that. I watched a little bit of it to the sport. And I was he's just full of fairy tales and oh my goodness, yeah.
I guess he learned from Jerry Jones.
So that's the same thing Dak do.
Yeah.
That's the same thing, man.
Man, it's that. I'll tell you, man, it's the Unicorn Teddy Bear fans. I'll tell you, man. Man, you know what? I was looking at a video earlier. I ain't gonna say who, but they were talking about how Caleb Downs he was making mistakes and trying to learn from them. Mm-hmm. And then here comes Shotty praising him like he's going to be one of the leaders of this team.
A rookie?
Yeah.
I don't know about
No,
that.
know what? They go back to what they were saying, that Shotty talking like a used car salesman. They go right back to that.
To me, they're putting too much on this rookie's shoulder, man. I think the expectations for him that they putting on him, to me, in my opinion, is too high.
It really
it's like they
is.
to save the defense, man. But you save the defense by building your trenches with veterans, and you know what I'm saying. Because you asking a rookie to come in here and change this dysfunction, and you asking a rookie DC. So you combining two rookie minds on defense that's supposed to come in here and save it.
Man, I'm like this. Just let them follow. Let them go through their progression and stop putting them on a pedestal already.
Right.
I mean, because be honest, Christian Parker, he will he's going to have his mistakes. Caleb Downs and all the other rookies, including Malachi Lawrence, they will have their mistakes because they are rookies. So my thing is, they need to stop acting like these players and that coach are like all the time veterans. Just go with the process. What you need to be worrying about, has Shotty learned how to manage the game correctly?
You right about that, man.
That's what I mean. Let Christian Parker do what Christian Parker do. Stop saying he's going to reinvent the defense and all that. Just let him do what he do.
Right. Give him time, man.
Yep. Yeah.
What up, Corner?
Man, what's going on? You got to hop on here. There's a little crazy talking going on around here. So I had to jump on in here and iron this out like an ironing board and a hot iron. Call me the iron. Y'all be the ironing board, all right?
Okay.
What's going on with everybody?
Oh, not much, man.
I just want to know, you know what I'm saying, who got the best front? The Giants or the Cowboys?
Ooh.
I said if it's like 3-4 versus 3-4, I said the Giants because their linebacker, of course, better than the Cowboys. But the Cowboys go strictly 4-3. Cowboys got that.
Well, we're not 4-3, so we can't say that. That's out of the question. When you look at when you look at the Giants, they got a lot of first round talent, a lot of equity in that front seven. And when you look at the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys have a lot of questions. And our front seven is wait and see. We got Barham as a rookie. We got Overshown coming back from injury. We got Malachi Lawrence, who's a rookie. We got Ezra Raku coming off hip surgery. We got Rashawn Gary, a trade from the Packers, first time with the Dallas Cowboys. Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams. Those are the staples, I guess you could call it. But those are the two guys that we know because we've seen we've seen a half a year with Quentin Williams. We've seen a full year with Kenny Clark, right? Outside of that, we haven't seen anything. As a Raku, we know that he can stop the run. We need him to be able to rush the passer. So we know a little bit about Ezra Raku. Other than that, man, we don't know much about anybody else. And I like that. I like the unknown. It can either go one way or it can go another. But right now, because we know what everybody looks like with the Giants and they added on to it, I have to give them the nod right now on June 5th. But come September, whatever we're week 1, ask me again. But I hopped in here to say this, if I may.
Go ahead.
We have pounded our fist on the tables time and time and time again. And it says we don't have a leader on defense. When somebody starts dubbing Caleb Downs a quote-unquote leader, we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. That can't happen. He's a rookie. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let him learn something. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let him be a leader if he needs to be a leader. We don't have it on this team. So if someone's going to step up and be that, whether that's a first-round pick, a seventh-round pick, an undrafted free agent like Barry Church, let it be Caleb Downs. Quentin Williams, he got on Azaraku's ass 1 week being a Cowboy, and we loved it, right? It was 1 week being a Cowboy. Why? What did we say? Whoa, whoa, whoa! He needs to back off. He only been a team a week. No, we said we love that because
he's a vet.
But hold on. Yep. We loved it because what we were lacking that leadership, right? That leadership wasn't there. So if Caleb Downs as a rookie could come in here and lead men as a rookie, we got to stand here and applaud that. We can't knock that down. Let's see what that rookie can do. Let's see if that rookie could lead. Micah Parsons couldn't do it. D-Law was selfish in leading. He when he got down in his feelings, he wasn't leading ducks to water. He couldn't do that. If Caleb let Caleb Downs do it. Let's see where it gets us.
I mean,
because like we just can't criticize everything about this team. I wouldn't take Caleb Downs leading it as a good thing because it's something that we don't got, and we've been saying that for 2 years. So if Quentin Williams and Caleb Downs is my leader, I'm all for that because we didn't have two leaders last year.
Yeah, I feel you on that corner, but I'm just saying, like, as of now, to expect a rookie, you know what I'm saying, without seeing that, like you're saying, without seeing what he can do, how he would take the pressure, you know, not only playing that position, but playing for the Cowboys itself is pressure on top of that. So all I'm saying is just to throw him in and pump him up as the leader as a rookie. I'm kind of like iffy on that until I see.
You really think someone's throwing him in to be a leader? A leader's a natural ability. Leaders lead naturally. Nobody throws anybody in there to be a leader. Leaders step up. Leaders speak up. Leaders lead by example. No one can make a leader. A leader is either you got it or you don't. And if he's coming in here as a leader, you got to respect it.
Well, how do we know he's a leader of men in the NFL, though? We haven't seen that yet.
It's stepping stones. He got drafted in April. I
got you.
Football, we got 2 more months to September. But to be a leader and to grow as a leader, if you already have the it between now and September, let's see the rocket take off.
Yeah, then you can do that. Yeah.
Let's see the rocket take off. But hey, you got to start somewhere.
I know definitely we need leaders on this defense that's going to hold everybody accountable.
Yeah.
Period.
So, no, what we need, be honest, we need leaders on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. Somebody just can, when a player messes up, other players put them accountable.
Number 4 got the C on his jersey, so he's supposed to be the leader of the offense.
See, Dak's only the leader off the field. He just got a good guy award, whatever the hell that means.
Oh yeah, he was the most friendliest player to talk to the media.
Exactly. So when I look at Dak Prescott, I don't view him as a leader on the football field. I view him as a leader off the field. Dak off the field, I admire. I love. I wish if I had a boy, he'd grow up and be like Dak off the field. On the field, though, it's a completely different Dak. And that's the problem. I don't want to make this a Dak show, but we don't have a leader on this offense. Hopefully, George Pickens can step up and be that guy. CeeDee Lamb can step up and be that guy in year 6 or 7, whatever he's in now. It'll be year 6 for him now. Year 7. Yeah, because 2020. Damn. Javonte Williams, the thumper that he is. Maybe he can step up and be a leader now in his second stint with the Dallas Cowboys. We do need a leader on defense, but we can't diminish somebody because they're a rookie. It's only June 5th. If he wants to be that rookie and he wants to take that baton and run with it, let's see what it looks like in September. Let's not knock it. It ain't pressure. No one can make anybody be a leader. Because if somebody can make somebody be a leader, would be like, oh yeah, here's our leaders. So we got 6 of them. It takes a special type of personality and men to lead.
True. I agree with that. Well, I'm just on the wait and see. But we don't. The thing is, like, we don't have it on offense. Who you think will be the leader on offense? I know you named a couple names, but far as coming into the season now, who will be our best leader on offense?
Good question.
I mean, chat. Who will be our best leader on offense? Since we kind of got a feel of who will be our leaders on defense, I think Overshawn could be a leader if he can stay if he can stay healthy. But I think he could be a leader, especially by play, his attitude, his aggression. I think he'll be a good leader. But Quentin Williams and they want to put, you know what I'm saying, the rookie up in there. I can at least we have something we can start with. But what we got on offense? Who's the true leader on the offensive side of it?
Well, it's supposed to be number 4. He getting paid like he's the leader.
No, he's not getting paid like a leader. He's getting paid like an overpaid quarterback. You don't get paid to be a leader. You get paid at your position. You need somebody on offense to. And if it can't be a player, where's the coach at to lead these guys? Right? Like, I get it. There's coaches and players and GMs, and it's all separate. But somebody has to step in here and make this stuff click on the offense side of the ball and on the defense side of the ball. There's responsibilities at hand. The offensive coordinator has to coordinate that offense. And if Clayton Adams is a leader, Connor Riley, whoever, somebody's got to figure this out on offense and hold people accountable, number one, and call people out on their BS when they're not doing good, whether that's CeeDee Lamb dropping balls in week 1, whether that's George Pickens looking like he did against the Lions, right? We need somebody to step up and tell these guys, don't do that shit again. We need some Charles Haley mentality on the offense side of the ball. We do.
Man, it feel like a love affair on the goddamn offensive side of the ball. Nobody want to call nobody out for nothing, especially the coach. And to me, Schottenheimer ain't gonna call out Dak if he play bad. He not gonna call out none of those guys if they play bad. He not gonna bench nobody. That's true leadership from the offensive side of the ball. You gotta do shit that ain't favorable, that ain't comfortable. That's what you gotta do as a head coach. Mm-hmm. You can't do what feels good. You gotta do what's uncomfortable because as the head coach, this shit ain't working. This player ain't working. I gotta make a change. To me, that starts with culture change. When you can bench a guy like Dak Prescott because you see that he ain't getting the job done when you need him to do it. Period. That's, to me, what's hurting us too as a team overall. We don't have a coach that say, look, I could bench this special teams player because he touched the ball and cost us the game, but you won't bench the quarterback who throws an interception in a game when we could have won, as he's still been playing, like bullshit. Or even a wide receiver with CeeDee Lamb dropping the balls against Philadelphia. Sit his ass down. Get somebody else up in there and start and play. Sit his ass down. How many times a receiver could drop that many passes in the game and the head coach don't say shit to him but keep putting him back out there? Do we have a coach in Shoddy like that? Y'all answer that question for me. And y'all can respond.
Who you want to go first?
You go first, Corner.
I think it's hard to answer that question. And we'll know by week 5 if Schottenheimer learned anything from his first year coaching and calling plays at the same head coaching and being an offensive coordinator at the same time. We'll know by week 5 because those first 5 games are legit. All right.
Yep.
Schottenheimer, I liked his approach up until he took the quarterback's Greek dancing and then looked like some damn fools Greek dancing. But I did like the approach of getting to know his defensive guys, getting to know his offensive guys better, and playing bowling with these guys, taking families out to dinner. I like that because you gotta know what you're working with, right? And Schottenheimer, if you notice, ain't doing that this year. And when you look at that and you look at Tyler Guyton and Nate Thomas are now in a battle. That didn't happen last year when it should have happened. So he's not doing all these things. I mean, he went to the Billy Bobs and with Jake Ferguson and Dak, but he's not doing it almost with every player like he was last year. And he's now he has some competition at a certain position that we know is a weak spot on this team at left tackle, and it's a very important position in football. So June 5th, I can't answer that question, but week 5, come back to me on that, and I'll let you know if there's a difference in Schottenheimer and if he can hold players accountable, right? Because in his interview with Jerry Jones and Steven, he said, I benched Dak in training camp for throwing an interception. I gave Joe Milton more reps or whoever it was. I think it might have been Cooper Rush. I can't remember who it was, right? So he was talking about holding players accountable. But then when you want to do it your first year, all you did was sit CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens out a quarter. You should have done 2 quarters, maybe even 3, hell, maybe even the whole game and find him, right? Maybe let me see if we can get more of that next year, and we'll know if he's that type of coach by week 5. Sorry for going long-winded.
No, you good.
Yeah. Well, with me, last year training camp it was real soft, but again, I want to see this year training camp if it's different from last year. Has has Shadi actually made that step as a head coach to put more players accountable? Like kind of like what Corner said. If you're gonna put one player accountable, you need to put them all accountable, regardless if they're a starter or not. And basically he need to do better game planning as well too during the games. That's all. No, that's all I want to see.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, Corner. Like he gonna have to get some examples. He gonna have to go, especially from a first time head coach to a second year. We're gonna have to see a little bit more. And I think you got a point. Those first 5, 6 games, that's a gauntlet to me because people keep looking over the Commanders and the Giants, and I'm not ready to look over them right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's gonna put a lot of pressure on the Cowboys, especially since we don't play preseason. Our starters don't play preseason. I don't know why can't get no reps in preseason, man. I don't, and we always start off slow. Then we go up against a team like the Giants or something. We barely beat them because we're familiar with them, and we don't really lose confidence playing with them because we done beat them so much. You know what I'm saying? We'll edge out a victory. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. But I think it's gonna be an issue with us not playing preseason in these first 5, 6 games, and it's really gonna see. That's gonna really be a point to look at how he's going to coach this team, being that we're not going to play preseason. Now, if they surprise me when we play some preseason, it might be a little bit different. But they ain't been doing it for this long, so I don't see them doing it again. So
Well, in his opening press conference for OTAs, he said that we're having joint practices with the Rams and the Saints, and he's followed that up literally right after saying that was because we don't play starters in preseason. So he's already taken that approach already.
oh shit, okay. So we not won't have our starters in preseason, no, like a series or first quarter or nothing.
Nothing. He's already confirmed that.
I don't think that's a good sign because we're gonna first 2 or 3 games like preseason. We don't have no rhythm, nothing, no continuity with calling plays and understanding what we, trying to do to the defense. We need a little bit of rhythm in that shit, bro. That's why we we fumble around in these first few games every season unless we playing a familiar opponent like the Giants or something. You good, champ?
Huh?
You good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Go.
So Sean McVay, Harbaugh, the Chargers Harbaugh, Dan Campbell, and the Eagles, they don't play in the preseason either.
Every more than us or sometimes? Because we haven't played preseason in a long time.
So it says these coaches firmly believe the risk of season-ending injury in August heavily outweighs any benefit of game reps. Instead, they get their high-intensity workout during joint practices with other teams, where the environment is controlled by where hitting the quarterback is strictly forbidden. So guys who traditional play, who actually will play starters, are the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals. Those guys will actually play. But Cowboys, Rams, Chargers, Lions, Eagles, they don't play starters.
Interesting.
Hmm.
How many Super Bowl teams out of those who play their starters?
Every single one. Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. They play. Bengals been to the Super Bowl but lost it. Bills can't get past the NFC Championship games, so they don't ever go to the Super Bowl, and they play in the preseason. The guys that don't do it, Rams Super Bowl champion, Harbaugh NCAA champion out of Michigan, nothing yet in the NFL. Dan Quinn NFC Championship game, and Eagles Super Bowl champions.
So 2-2. So that's looking like what coach is going to prepare their team the best,
right?
Preseason or not?
Yeah, that's where it goes to. I guess preparation.
Hey, do we have the coach that's going to prepare our team the best? What do y'all think? What you got, champ?
Like I said, man, I'm it sound like a broken record, but man, we got to see with Shotty as he graduates to the next level. We just got to wait and see. But that I don't know.
Ooh, this season is dude, how y'all feel about this season coming as one of the most critical seasons right now, man? Dak coming to his 11th year with the number one offense, well, the third in yards. My bad. The defensive change with the DC. The players we acquired in free agent in the draft.
I'm kind of like 1980. This team may be 2 or 3 years away. Getting the right players and letting some of the expiring contracts disappear.
Well, when you look at Schottenheimer and getting his team prepared, there's a few things outside of game planning that goes into it. The red zone inefficiencies. Only scoring touchdowns on just 56.7% of their trips. That's not good. 10 drives inside the 20 resulted in 0 points because of turnovers. Ball security, with Dak's fumbles and interceptions and everybody else's fumbles, we turned the ball over 21 times. We got to fix our left tackle with that competition with Tyler Guyton. What?
We turned the ball over 21 times. Where was that? Where were we at on the field? You said when we turned it over.
We turned it over on 10. We turned the ball over inside the 20 10 times.
Okay, inside the 20. Damn.
Yep. And then you got to get that fixed. Ball security. We do have 21 turnovers as a team, including interceptions and fumbles. Your left tackle. You got to have better left tackle play. So hopefully that competition's serious. And just detail and execution errors. They were on high passing volumes. They were ranked middle of the pack with 15th in wide receiver drops. So you got to fix penalties, you got to fix drops, you got to fix turnovers, you got to fix red zone. That right there starts with preparation by your coaching.
Yep. Thanks. The sport. What's up, man? Appreciate you for stopping by, man.
Yeah, man. How y'all doing?
I'm
Good, dude. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Did
same
you hear
here.
what Porter just said, man? Did you hear what he just said?
What did he just
Most
say?
of it. You were talking about Shoddy?
Yeah. Did you hear what he just said?
The last bit of it I did, yeah, about left tackle, red zone, stuff like that.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on what he was saying because I like what he was saying. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they were like 20th in red zone efficiency last year.
Yep.
So, with the talent they have on offense and the year that Javante had, you would think that they would be a little bit more balanced in the red zone. The thing about Shoddy in general, man, I don't like when things are handed to somebody when they really didn't truly earn it. And I don't think Shoddy really earned this head coaching opportunity, right? I think if we, it's easy to go back and reflect, but the whole process of interviewing coaches and after they fired or let McCarthy go, right? They just wanted to keep somebody in-house for consistency purposes. And Schottenheimer really hadn't done anything in the league over the past 10 years that would warrant a head coaching interview, let alone a head coaching job. And they just handed it to him because he was in the building, right? So here we are with a coach that I think every time I listen to him talk his press conferences, he seems confident, but he seems like a guy that is just way in over his head. That I think I don't see a leader of men. I see a guy that's a really good talker. I see a guy that knows how to communicate with the media, communicate to the players, but I don't think he's well equipped for this in the long term. So I don't, when he says, I need to do better, I didn't do well, in red zone offense, or I didn't do well in these game situations. He says I need to be better, but I don't trust him to actually make those changes. Like how we listen to Dak Prescott sometimes post game. It's like, I need to be better. I didn't, the cover zero, we couldn't stop it all game. We didn't have an answer for it. And then you see the same thing later in the year. It's like, so this is a year for Shoddy. There's a part of me that says, okay, the defense was so bad last year. Maybe he coached a certain way because the defense was so bad, right? So let's see how he does with the middle of the pack defense. You got to think they're going to be somewhere maybe in the high 20s, low teens, something like that if we're lucky. So let's see if that changes his approach from a play calling standpoint. So I think we need to give him the benefit of with that. So this is a big year for him, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
So the sport made a good point right off the rip, right? He said Schottenheimer didn't earn his coaching spot. It was given to him to keep the offense going. Let me just give you the trail of how this thing went down, right? And how we're still in this same offense. Jason Garrett, offensive coordinator, turned head coach, drafted Dak Prescott. Then he brings it to Scott Linehan. Scott Linehan, who knew Kellen Moore from the Lions, came in. Kellen Moore, now offensive coordinator. Then Kellen Moore works with who? Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy comes in, head coach there. Mike McCarthy stood on the podium and said, I regret that I didn't bring in my own playbook. So what does that mean? That means it's still the Garrett, Linehan, Kellen playbook. Mike McCarthy leaves. Who was Mike McCarthy's OC? Schottenheimer. So you got the Schottenheimer, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett playbook. All because of one guy, and his name's Dak Prescott.
That's almost 2 decades, man. What is that, 16 years? We're going back to
2010.
2010.
2010, yeah.
Well, he came on the staff in
07.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, man, we're like 20 years in the making. Do you think it comes down to the nature of the front office needing to feel comfortable and not going outside of the box and starting fresh?
What did you just say? What did you just say? You said you got to get uncomfortable. You said it.
They did it with Christian Parker. We'll give him that. Okay, that's not a move that Jason Garrett probably would have made or Mike McCarthy would have made. I'll give him Christian Parker. So at least it's the unknown with him. At least we're not bringing in a retread head coach or coordinator that we kind of know what they are at this point, like they did with Eberflus. So I'll give them that. But I need to see more from Schottenheimer with the game situations and getting very conservative, relying on a kicker a little bit too much. Especially, okay, so he knew how bad the defense was last year, right? And he still coached like he had a decent defense with how much he relied on Brandon Aubrey. You need to get aggressive when you get in your midfield. If it's 4th and 6 and you're at the opponent's 46, you got to go for it. You're not kicking a 60-plus yard field goal. You know your defense is probably going to give up points every drive, and he still kicked the field goal. It's like field goals are not going to win with that kind of defense. So the game flow nature of things, I think McCarthy was actually better with that than Schottenheimer was. So I need him to be a little bit more aggressive next year from an offensive standpoint.
So, yes, he's absolutely right. So if I remember the stat correctly, because it always drove me nuts that with Kellen Moore, our first drive always resulted into a 3-and-out. Or you'd pick up one first down and you would have to punt. Because I think there was only like 3 times under the whole entire Kellen Moore offensive coordinator era, only 3 times we actually opened the game up and scored a touchdown. Mike McCarthy did it like 4 times in his first year calling plays, and I think that was 2023. So yes, and then I don't think we did it, but maybe once or twice with Schottenheimer. I think he did it in his first game against the Eagles. I don't know if I remember correctly, but he only did it 1 or 2 times. We have to start strong. These slow starts, they kill our defense. It makes our defense look as bad as they are because they're already behind the 8 ball. Now you got to force this defense to break their back. This is why D-Law said he was tired. Because all the 3-and-outs.
Whew. He wasn't lying. I thought he was bullshit. I made a video about that shit. But damn, as you put it, and as I looked over it over the time, like, damn, he was just telling the truth. They was tired.
They were tired as hell because they kept going 3-and-out.
Turning
the ball over.
Next question. When was the last time the Cowboys led the league in time?
What's your question?
When was the last time the Cowboys led the league in time possession? Was it under Garrett?
I don't know if they ever led the league in time possession. We could look it up.
I know 1 year, I think they was like in the top 5.
I mean, they ran the ball a lot more under Garrett, right? So you got to think it had to be during his time as head coach.
Yeah, maybe 2014. Yeah, 2014 was the last time the Dallas Cowboys led the entire NFL average time of possession. It was 2014.
That was a good team. Really good team.
The year they should have made to the Super Bowl.
They were second in the NFL in 2016 was Zeke's rookie year. The number one spot went to the nasty, stinky Eagles.
Man, that was the window right there, man. That 2014 team. Oof.
So that right there tell you something.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Green Bay playoff game, I think the D-Log comment about being tired. It's been a while since we've seen the Cowboys play a complimentary football game in the playoffs. It's either a really slow start from the offense, which usually happens, with the exception of that Tampa playoff game in, I think it was the 2021 season, 2022 season. Usually it's the offense starting off slow, the Dallas defense really wasn't built then to stop the run. So, opposing teams are just grinding them. The rushers can't get to the quarterback. It's always 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. And then, by the time, the defense maybe figures it out or the offense gets going, it's too late. They're down by 2 scores, So look at the defense today. It's almost the opposite of what they've been over the past 10 years. They're really heavy focus on run defense, and their edge rushers are kind of an unknown right now because you have a combination of unproven guys like Sam Williams and, rookies that really haven't shown, that we don't know what they're going to be. And then maybe players slowly on the decline like Rashawn Gary, right? We think his best days are behind him. I think Kenny Clark's best days are behind him. So that's my concern. They're depending on these Green Bay guys that Green Bay had no problem getting rid of. Right? They were like, yeah, take Kenny Clark. You're good. He's 30. Rashad Gary. Yeah, we were going to cut him, but if you want to give us a fourth, there you go. He's all yours. You don't have to compete for him in free agency. So they're depending on some of these players where they're early 30s. Are they going to really have a breakout season at this point in their careers? Probably not. So now you're looking at these rookies and these young players. Are they going to have pivotal roles, on a team that, if you want to play the Dak window, maybe has a 2-year window, with Dak Prescott. So I think they're hedging their bets a little bit too much on these young players on defense.
Well,
Yeah.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say to the point how you said we were built. You know what I'm saying, to how the offense gets behind and how the defense tired. Like we were built to pass rush. We weren't built to stop the run. We was built to play with the lead. And the offense failed to get the lead because they started off so slow. So yeah, that's why I'm like, are we gonna be able to stop the run this season? Because a lot of times we were built to pass rush with the lead because we supposedly had this juggernaut of an offense that could score anytime they get on the fucking field. Which they shown they haven't done that consistent. So if we don't have the offense to be able to score anytime they get on the field, and we wear out the defense, how does that leave us in a contention to win the game?
Good
point right there. Go ahead, Corner.
The whole Cowboys stopping the run. I'm excited to see what Christian Parker has set up here because I was an Oso Digizua fan for a long time, and then last year I was expecting a lot out of him because you had Kenny Clark in here to take some load off him, and he never did it, and then he hung on to one sack for dang near until Quentin Williams got here. So yep. I dubbed him OSA, stands for one sack asshole. OSA. That's how what I named him, as OSA, one sack asshole. But exactly. Yep. that one sack asshole is now gone. The run liability piece is gone to San Fran. Otito Obanya from the Rams comes in here at 320, 20 pounds heavier than Osa. I'm excited to see what he can do in the run ability and see if that's a good, get out the guy that can't stop the run, bring in a 320 guy that maybe could stop the run. I'm excited to see that. How does Christian Parker set up this 4-2-5, gap integrity, half gap, 1.5 gap integrity spots? Like, there's a lot of question marks, absolutely, but I'm excited because Clowney's not here. He just got 3 sacks week 16. He wasn't a good run stopper. Dante Fowler's out of here. He really didn't do much. I mean, he was just a shade of himself over the last 2 years. So there's a lot. 13 pieces of the defense is turned over. 13 players are gone. And that's because Christian Parker said, I don't want these 13 guys here. Let's get in some replacements. So now you get Rashawn Gary, you get Malachi Lawrence, you get Barsham, Jayshawn Barham, and you get, okay, maybe these guys can, outside of maybe Lawrence, but you're like, maybe these guys can really do something here. So I'm excited to see what Christian Parker does there. And then the gentleman down there looks like the Mexican Zeus. He said, I forgot his dang name. I apologize. But I think we were ranked very low in our rookies playing last year. And I would rather bet on our rookies to learn and get more playing time than to not get any playing time. I think they need to take OTA seriously, training camp, mini camps, preseason. These rookies need to play preseason because last year, Siobhan Revel didn't play much. Shamir James, I mean, I think he led the team in tackles. Jadon Blue didn't play much. Phil Moffa didn't play much. We need some of these guys to get in here and get some reps.
Are you guys concerned about the edge position? It seems like they've overly saturated that position, right? They bring back Sam Williams on a 1-year deal, okay. But Rashawn Gary, he's not really known as a great pass rusher. He's more of like a run defender. Maybe he can get you 6 sacks a year, something like that. Older player. And obviously they draft Malachi Lawrence and big year for Donovan Ezeraku as well. Do you feel like edge is a situation where, they get into week 4, week 5, maybe they're around 500, but they're having major issues rushing the passer. Let's say the Raiders are 1-4, 1-5 or something. Do you think Max Crosby is a player that they revisit? Maybe you get him at a cheaper price in the middle of the year that could really bolster that pass rush, because they're going to be playing a lot of nickel anyway, right? So you got Crosby, with his hand in the ground, rushing the passer on 3rd and long. Do you think that's something where they could revisit that position if they don't like what they see, towards the first quarter of the season?
Well, you talking about Cowboys making a trade for him?
For Crosby, if they revisit the
Well, for one thing, the Cowboys only got 5 draft picks for next year.
That's true.
I don't know how that would happen.
Damn, they traded picks. They're gonna have to give up more than 1 pick to get Crosby too.
Yep.
Probably. I'm
Well, see,
pass rush. I'm concerned about it.
what's our record? Okay, let's say we got in 6 weeks. Let's say we got 3 sacks. What's our record?
3 sacks.
Now you're exposing Deron Bland again.
I mean, if you're, because that was your scenario, right? By week 6, you're not rushing the passer. What's our record? If we have a winning record and we have lack of sacks, I'm for it. But if you have a losing record, we're not 1 guy away.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's say they're around 500. Maybe they're like 3-2 or something like that.
Ooh. I don't know. That's a little tough. I would wait it out a couple more weeks and wait for the trade deadline to see what I got.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me ask you this: out of Ezeraku, Lawrence, and I'll even throw Sam Williams in there, which one do you think is primed to get close to double-digit sacks, if any of them?
I'm going to say Ezeraku.
I would agree.
I'm going to go different. I'm going to say Lawrence.
The rookie?
Yep.
Hey, I'm all for that. If a rookie a rookie's ceiling in sacks is only 5. So that's the average for a rookie. Is their average as a rookie to get it's like anywhere between 3 to 5 as a rookie. And Ezeraku check that box. Oh, but hold up. Time out. Hold up. I wrote his name down so I wouldn't forget. The sport, all right? There's a name that we're forgetting here, and I forget it too. James Houston quietly had 5.5 sacks last year.
Is he still with us?
He's still with us.
Was he tied for the most, or right below Clowney? I think
right below Clowney. He quietly got 5.5 sacks, and they barely played him.
Yeah, 4-stringer.
Yeah, he's a good pass rushing specialist, right? He's a guy you really don't want on early downs, but if it's 3rd and long, he's a guy that could definitely show off his pass rushing arsenal and get those sacks. Yeah.
Okay, can I break something down on the pass rusher thing real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, these were starter players that either started a game or they started all the time and they're no longer here, all right? I'm going to tell you what I wrote down for replacements for. Okay, Marshawn Nealon. We know what happened to him. I dubbed his replacement as Rashawn Gary. Did you or did you not get better there with Rashawn Gary replacing Marshawn Nealon?
Better.
Yep.
Okay, Dante Fowler, Tyrus Wheat. We signed Tyrus Wheat from the Lions. He's back with the Cowboys. Is it the same or is it better or is it worse?
It might be worse.
Okay.
Watch. Okay.
Okay. Clowney and Malachi Lawrence. Malachi Lawrence replaced Clowney. You get better or you get worse?
Probably worse right off the bat, like short term, but probably better long term.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is just D-line. I'm just going to do D-line. Osa getting replaced by Otito Obanya.
I'll take Obama.
That's an improvement.
Worse.
Mozzie Smith getting replaced by LT Overtone.
Better.
Yeah, bro.
Jay-Sean Barham. I'm going to do front seven because I'm liking where this is going. Kenneth Murray getting replaced by Jay-Sean Barham.
Better.
Better.
Jack Sandburn getting replaced by D. Winters.
Winners. Even though he's small, winners.
Yeah, better.
Kyer Elam getting replaced by Devin Moore.
The bar
That
is
might be great.
Okay. Trayvon Diggs getting replaced by Revel.
It's a wash.
CJ Goodwin getting replaced by PJ Locke.
Probably a minor upgrade.
Donovan Wilson getting replaced by Caleb Downs.
It's probably a decent upgrade.
Yeah,
Y.A. Thomas getting replaced by Jalen Thomas. Or Jalen Thompson, I'm sorry.
It's an upgrade for sure.
And then you added an additional player in Kobe Durant. So I don't know how he benefits your defense, but if you want to say he replaces Trayvon Diggs instead of Revel, there you have it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And at least he's a veteran. He gave up a ton of touchdowns last year, but he also got a ton of picks. So I guess it cancels out.
So when you break down the 13 players that we replaced, maybe a third of them is either a wash or it's a wait and see. I like those odds.
Yeah.
good point. Good point, Quan.
Yeah, good point.
And I agree with you. To play devil's advocate, the bar was so low last year. I think a lot is going to seem better than what we had last year. But I'll take it. You know, hey, you can't get worse than 30 seconds. So
That's right.
Man,
The numbers can be worse. The numbers can be worse, but the ranking can't.
yeah.
what if we be 31? Shit.
My legit expectations will be somewhere between 15 to 20. Like that's my legit expectation. 15 is like best case scenario. 20 to 23 is worst case scenario.
That's I'm kind of thinking that range too. But see, also with that now, they're already saying that if the defense can be middle of the road, I'm hearing all the pundits, 3 and 4 of the networks, Cowboy delusional fans, these Dak fanboy slurpees, just have a middle of the road defense. Our offense can do. Which
You're putting too much pressure on Dakota Rain Prescott. You just are. I mean, I talked about. I mean, and it's not him. You know, Jake Ferguson had a lot of fumbles this year too. You know, you got to take care of the ball. You can't have penalties. You got to score in the red zone. You know, that's a lot of that's on Ford, but a lot of it's on the offense, and they have to do better.
Doesn't he run the offense? Is he responsible for making the offense run?
Schottenheimer runs the offense. Clayton Adams runs the offense.
He never called plays. He ain't called plays since he's been here.
But if you listen to the press conference today or yesterday by Schottenheimer, he said Clayton Adams up there does a lot of talking and people respect him. Yeah, so he has more influence than you think.
I hear him talking, but I ain't seen him call not one play yet.
Hey, but look, as an offensive coordinator, even though you ain't, it's like, put it this way. I don't know if you ever been in management or not, JB. Put it this way. You have the title, but your district manager still controls everything.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So he has the title. It's just Schottenheimer controls that play calling ability. I think because Schottenheimer can't be just strictly in the OC, so Clayton Adams has to do something for organization of setting up game plans. And I mean, he gets a lot of credit for the running game and the running game scheme last year. Clay Adams gets a lot of credit for that. He does something.
They had to change that running scheme from McCarthy's. I mean, if you remember the McCarthy running scheme, it seemed like it was just inside zone out of the gun.
Yeah.
That was it. They were just shoving, whatever back they had. Didn't matter what kind of player they were. It was inside zone. It was just like a compliment to the passing game. But for the first time last year, it actually seemed like they actually tried to commit to the running game. And imagine if they would have had a talent like Tony Pollard last year, to pair with Javonte. I think that would have been better. Now I have my concerns about Javonte this year because they really ran him into the ground last year. And the stats show after you give a back a certain amount of carries, after he gets a certain amount of yards, a certain amount of touchdowns, that production almost always goes down the next year. And now they're saying, well, we signed Javonte. He's our guy. He's our lead back, right? He's the workhorse. And they have a bunch of unknown guys behind them that, hey, look, we don't know if they could pass protect. Malik Davis, fine player. He had a few good plays last year, but is he a guy you want to rely as a number 2 that could, block a middle linebacker coming on an A-gap blitz? Probably not. Jaden Blue can't even learn the playbook. And, we're depending on an unknown in Mafa, who was like pretty much a redshirt player last year. And you have Lipke, who I don't even know what he is at this point. But I feel like they should have went a little bit heavier at running back there, just to get an established guy behind Javonte, a little bit more speed that could pass protect a little bit on third down. They're taking a risk there with running back, I think.
Champs, you gonna say anything?
I'm just waiting now. My thing is about the running game. To me, they didn't utilize their running backs enough. Now, the question is, even though they did say that Marfa was hurt and Blue didn't know the playbook, why couldn't they brought in any other running backs outside of Malik Davis? Now, Malik Davis, no, he's been in and out of the Cowboy organization for the past 6 years. So, but for some reason, the Cowboys will not give him, I guess, the go to compete, starting the running back position. But for this year team, if they want to help out the defense, they has to run the ball more effectively, especially in the red zone as well. They need to the running game has to be a balance between the passing, so you won't put so much pressure on number 4. A quarterback best friend is the running game. Now, can Shotty learn this from his past mistakes? Or will he let Clayton Adams have more say so in the passing offense? I mean, don't start the passing offense, but the offense. Period. That's the questions that we all have to ask. And then the other thing, if you know about Steele his pro is run protection. His con is pass protection. So I mean, another way you can fix it, have the offensive line to be much better is to properly run the ball effectively. Now, as far as what we got in Marfa, what we got in Blue, what we got in Davis, one of them 3 running backs is going to have to step up. So the team won't have to run Williams to the ground. Because if he get hurt, it's going to be bad. So somebody going to have to step up or bring somebody from the outside.
Yeah, I would think a lot of them going to have to get a lot of preseason time. A lot of preseason. But we do need to see what this run game going to do. What if Javonte Williams get hurt or he, as you say, the sport, he starts to decline because of his success this year, and you know what I'm saying?
Well,
go ahead, Corner.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were wrapping up. I apologize.
I just want to make that a small comment. Go ahead.
No, I think with Javonte Williams, with his tread depth, so to speak, coming out of Denver, he was injured. What is it? Like 3 out of the 4 years he was there, had his best year as a rookie with 900 yards. Coming in here, I think, and I was just thinking this the other day, was him wearing down, was his body not used to playing that many weeks in the National Football League. And I think the tread is there because he really hasn't had that many. I mean, this was the most yards. This was the most career carries. I mean, unless it's only 1,200 yards, and I think his carry touches was like top 5 in the league, but it was just something that he wasn't used to body wise. But I think tread depth wise, if he can stay healthy next year, I think and maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I think I'll see a Hulk version of Javonte Williams because now he knows what it's like to play 16, 15 games. And so now he'll know, okay, I got to do this with my body. I got to do this here. I got to train here. I got to do this rehab. Now he knows what that toll is like. I mean, DeMarco Murray, this dude would drink like a gallon of water before a football game just to put on some weight to withstand the pounding. But he learned that over the duration of his career. And when he really got worn down was 2014 because, he was lightly used. Tony Pollard really wasn't used his first 3 years. He comes in here, a lot of spark, a lot of carries, was consistent. And he went to Tennessee and still played at a high level. So I think the tread for Javonte Williams is still there. Now, on the signings things, they have a history of signing players in training camp like Alfred Morris or whether that be Malik Hooker. They do some things in training camp every once in a while. I think they fear that running back spot. Look for a running back to come in during training camp.
You think so?
If they fear that spot, yeah, absolutely.
I know.
Yeah. And you still got the 90-man cuts too.
True. I've been hearing stuff about Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb done. He had too many devastating injuries, man. He ain't the same Nick Chubb.
You can't tell typical Cowboy Nation that. Oh, he still got a lot in the tank.
Nah.
I want them to get like a Kenneth Gainwell, a guy that's a good receiver. I don't feel like the Cowboys have a good receiving back that could catch screens and take it 30, 40 yards. I don't see Javonte as that guy. I don't think he was a good receiving back last year. So I want them to draft or not draft, but sign a backup running back that could get more receptions, where you get an option as a check down where he could break a tackle and take it 7-8 yards, something like that. Hopefully it's one of the.
Hey guys, I'm going to step off.
All right, go ahead, man. I appreciate you.
You're good. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They're rolling with what they got. So I guess we'll find out pretty shortly in the beginning of the season if they were right or not. So
you know what? Sports 78. I think Blue is that type of running back that can catch the ball in the backfield. Like what he did with Texas. It's just the fact that the Cowboys played him wrong. They try to play him in between the tackle type of running back, and that's not him. He needs to be in space, and every so often in spread formation, you may want to like a draw play through him up the middle, but you can't do that with Blue with his size.
Yeah,
and I think that's on the coaching personnel doing that.
I think Blue would be the perfect guy to step up because I think he's exactly what they need as a change of pace back, where you kind of grind them down. Remember they had Marion Barber and Julius Jones back in the day where
you know what? And that's why I've been telling my guys that the Cowboys had a blueprint back in 2007. And then to a certain extent, 2022, when you had Zeke and Pollard.
Pollard, yeah. Pollard,
and you know what? Just imagine if the Cowboys would have, if they would have Rico Dowell to see what he done. And pair him with Malik Davis or even Devontae Williams from last year, that could have been good. But the Cowboys, we got an idiot GM.
What I would love to see as the blueprint of the running game this year is to grind them early on in the game with Javante, and then when the defense is gassed in the second half, get Blue, get a home run hitter, get a 70 or 80 yarder after the defense is tired. I think, hey, if you can get that numerous times during the season, I think it's a win. Just break one late in the game when you grind out the defense, run the ball more. Those toys on the outside are really enticing, right? You got the high paid receivers on the outside. You want to throw it with your $60 million quarterback. Grind a team out, wear that defensive line down. That's how you win the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
I'm kind of, you know what? I'd rather have my wish list. It would be Williams and Marfa. After two backs to grind it down, and then throw in Blue for that home run hit. That would be my philosophy. So I know a lot of people say you get a running back and run to the ground, but what if you got two running backs who are very similar and you can interchange them out and just roar that defense down? And then when you get a back, say like Blue, and then of course Turpin, throw him throw like a little pass to the flat and just let him get the speed to terrorize the defense. That's what I would do.
I'm with you.
I want to see what type of playing time they're gonna give Blue and Mafia. I want to see what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm pretty sure they play a preseason, but how they gonna interchange those guys with Javante Williams is what I want to see, and that comes from coaching. And what we was been told, and I think we've been lied to about how Shotty's gonna play. You know what I'm saying? Run that ball like his dad did. What do you call it? What
Bully ball.
bully ball? I don't see bully ball.
Marty Ball. Wasn't
Yeah,
Marty
Marty. Yeah, that's what it was. Marty ball.
No,
Yeah,
bully ball.
yeah. And I don't. To me, he too infatuated with Pickens and Lamb and Dak throwing that ball, man. They too. And every
Yeah.
coach fell victim to that. Uh, all the coaches, they done fell victim to having Dak and these receivers and thinking they can sling the ball. They just don't prioritize the run game. You know what I'm saying? To me, Dak could be more effective in the play action if you prioritize the run game more. He'll be more effective. He'll throw less picks, especially in crucial situations because, like I said, even though he say pressure is privilege, he can't take the pressure. So if you give him easy game when you dominating the run, and all he got to do is just make one or two reads and make the right play, I think he can do that. But when they try to make him the front runner and he's this type of guy at the quarterback position, that's why we fail every fucking time. So I don't see it, man. And that's why what I'm saying. I kind of want to talk about this online. What type of defense the Giants gonna have against us in this first game? Who defensive front gonna be better? Because if Dak don't mature, which is sad to say that he's in his years in his career and he still ain't matured. Last year, like he can't even figure out how to read the cover zero. Him and the whole week and during the game couldn't figure out what the fuck the Vikings defense was doing to him. Like, they couldn't figure it out. He said it out of his own mouth. They
But JB,
couldn't
you forgot.
figure it out.
JB forgot. Dak got a master's degree.
He couldn't figure out Brian Flores and that Vikings defense cover zero they're putting out there. They couldn't figure it out. So to me, if I could see shit, different teams and coaches, I already could tell coaches, defensive coordinators, they know how to play Dak. Real defensive coordinators, real team who Dak ain't really, they know how to play against him, man. That's why he can never beat the good teams, especially the ones outside of the division. He can't beat good teams, bro. And to me, that's why he had problems with Denver. He can't beat Arizona. But I'm just saying, Minnesota, when he goes up against teams like that, that's for real. He choked, man. I don't know. That's just what I look at right there, man. I don't see us really. Mm-mm. I'm gonna call it right now. I think we're gonna lose against the Giants, straight up.
This game is going to be a perfect opportunity for us to see game plan wise how they do in this situation, because this Giants team has really built a run on them through the interior. Their defensive tackles are very weak. They have strong edge rushers, right? We have weak offensive tackles. So game plan wise, from Dallas's perspective and Schottenheimer, this is a team where you really grind them up the middle and you stay at a third and long because you don't want to expose Guyton and Steele against Burns and Thibodeau and Arvell Reese, all those guys, right? All the rushers they have. So we're going to know right off the bat, are they going to come out offensively, Dallas, and be pass happy? Just kind of be nonchalant about it. Hey, we're going to do our thing, try to stop us, or are they going to be smart about it and say, hey, this is a game where we got to grind it out a little bit. We got to, protect the quarterback, run the ball a little bit more. It's a road game, attack their weaknesses, and just come out of there with a win. So I think the first game is going to be a good barometer of how they game plan, based on what the personnel has on the opposite side.
Okay, what you think? What you think, champ?
Talk about the running game again.
Yeah, in this first game against the Giants, and how?
Oh, if the Cowboys get bullied by the Giants, not just the defense but the offense, yeah, it's going to be a long game. I mean, that right there will either the Cowboys will learn from it, or it's going to be a long season. Well, also we'll see if they got any fire in them too.
I think they're gonna take the L against the Giants.
Yeah, I do too, though. But like I said, we'll see mentality how they play out for the rest of the season.
Baltimore in Brazil, right? And then short week, then you go to Houston for a noon game, and then you got Tampa on a Thursday. If they don't beat the Giants and or the Commanders, how many W's have we get in the first 5 games? I mean, these 2 divisional games are huge, because then you could at least afford to lose to Baltimore and or the Texans, and then try to get above 500 against Tampa.
Hey.
That's a tough stretch to start the year. So
I got us going 2-3 the first 5 games. 2-4 the first 6 games.
What do you have as a final record, Corner?
8-9.
2-5. 2-2. Hold up. I'm gonna see if I can bring that schedule up again.
Well, I mean, I guess we didn't give the Jets a top 5 pick.
Well, right? Yeah.
Maybe.
That's gonna hurt us, man. That's gonna hurt us. That's gonna hurt us bad. Like Quentin Williams has to be like Aaron Donald type shit. Like if he ain't, dude, total bust. Seriously, like the bar has to be high.
And this next year's draft class is a lot better than this year's.
Way better.
This is the year I wish we had 2 first rounders, not this previous year.
Well, here was the craziest part was you had a weak free agency class and you had a weak draft class.
Right.
Oh, not at Tampa Bay. We got Green Bay and then Philly. First 7 games.
Man,
we got a terrible schedule. Look at the dates though. Let me make this bigger. There's a 7-day space between Giants and Commanders. 7-day space between Baltimore and Washington and Baltimore. Look at that 10-day stretch right there. Week 3, 4, and 5. Look at that. That's gonna be brutal. Brutal. And to make it worse, you got a noon. Wow, you live on the East Coast, JB?
Yep.
These times are fucking me up. you got and you got a noon game in there, dude. Like that looks pretty, but that's miserable. That's miserable.
You got to travel to Houston. Yep.
Tampa's no slouch. I mean, I like Baker a lot. I think Tampa, I think they're due for a down year, but still, this early on in the season where these teams are still pretty fresh, to go on the road, I know it's same state. It's an hour flight, but to play against that Houston defense on a short week after playing in Brazil against Baltimore, and then you got to play Tampa on that Thursday, they'll be lucky to get a win out of all those three.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy though? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Health-wise, that Giants game is going to be physical. Physical, right? Washington, it depends on who's winning and who's losing. Baltimore is going to be physical. I'm talking hard hitting every play. Them hitting us, right? Washington, Houston, the physicality of that game. Then you got 4 days later and you're in Tampa. The bruises ain't healed yet. Ain't no bruise healed yet. Ooh-wee. It's going to be bad.
At least you get 10 days rest, but then you're at Green Bay, right? Sunday night, and then, you have
another physical game.
Rest against Philly, but it's Philly, man.
Physical game.
All physical.
Arizona defense always physical against us.
Yeah.
Colts physical. San Fran physical.
Yep.
Titans last time we played them, they were physical. They knocked us on our ass over there in Tennessee.
That's right. The schedule makers probably looked at Arizona. They're like, "Oh, we'll give them Arizona at home. They always beat us."
Yep.
That could be an L2.
Yeah. We haven't beat them since 2017.
Yeah,
Arizona hasn't been that good either.
Oh my God! Look, Seattle physical, Rams physical. Oh my God! These guys are gonna need ice baths, icy hots, massages. Call Deshaun Watson. We need the best masseuses in Texas.
Damn, Carter. Oh shit.
Man, I'll tell you what, with this schedule, I know when you look at the schedule in the offseason, you think, oh my God, LLL, maybe we get a win there. Injuries do happen. And I think that's the only way that we have a shot in these games. That if we have some key injuries, where we look at that Rams game right now, where it's like, you know what? Their backup quarterback might be playing at that time, and that might be an easy win, right? I think that's the only way that we could sneak into that 10-11 win zone. I think back to that. I think it was Bill Parcells' first season. It was in 2003, where we had the number one defense in the league, and we played such a cupcake schedule. Our offense was below average, but we had the best defense in the league, and we played so many backup quarterbacks that year. And then we got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. But I think they got 10 wins, that team. So if some injuries go your way where, hey, that quarterback's out for the week that you play him, you can get a W there, right? So that Houston game might not be as intimidating if, Will Anderson's out for the year or something, so
that's asking for a lot of support.
I'm grasping at straws. You can see how I'm trying to, glass half full kind of thing, but I don't know. That's tough.
Now it's my turn to play devil's advocate. Pull up that schedule again, JB.
All right.
Now it's my turn to play devil's advocate. Go up a little bit.
Okay.
To week 1. Dak Prescott can't throw mile-high footballs to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in any of those games you see on that screen. Those guys will get the air knocked out of their ass. They will be breathing and eating through a straw. We got risk of injuries with these high intense games.
Go ahead, corner. Say, I think somebody.
You have to either kick him or mute him. The guy that just came in. There you go.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
No, like devil's advocate. All these games are physical. Our offense, finesse. They're not used to physicality. When they get physicality, CD Lamb gets up a little. Hey, I might need a little breather. George Pickens, when he gets ragged up, he likes to slack on routes. You know what I mean? So I'm not risking injury or asking for injury or wishing injury on anybody, but physical games can lead to injuries on our side of the ball too.
That's
with all those physical matchups.
That's really good point.
Especially if Friday keep running that down end around or what the fuck he keep running with CD.
Oh yeah, the end around jet sweep.
Yeah, the jet sweep. He ran, he got hurt, came back from injury. He ran it again with him. Like, come on, Shotty, what the fuck are you thinking about, man?
That's that Mike McCarthy playbook. That's that Jason Garrett playbook.
Man, that's why Dak was endorsing him so much.
It's a new playbook.
T.Y. Hilton came in and learned the offense in 2 days and played and caught a 3rd and 30 football.
He did learn that as fast as hell.
He learned it in 2 days. Most players have to take a week to learn the whole thing and sit out a game. This man got signed, learned the playbook, played in a game, and caught a 3rd and 30 pass.
It's too simple. That's why it could be easily figured out.
With good teams. Absolutely.
Yep. But that's what matters against good teams because you ain't going nowhere if you can't beat good teams. And then if you do happen to get to the playoffs and when you play good teams, we see the results.
Now look at the back end of the schedule. 9 playoff teams. Yep.
Oof. That stat from Nate Dogg. Last time the Cowboys made the playoffs 3 seasons.
Where you starting at with a 9 playoff team? But shit, we can just. Baltimore was a playoff team, right? Or you talking about the last half of the season?
Yeah. Oh, I got it starred right here. Who was on the playoffs last year? It was Texans, Bucks. The Packers made it, didn't they?
They did.
They did. Yeah. So it was Texans, Bucks, Packers, Eagles, Niners, Seahawks, Rams, and Jags.
Yeah.
All playoff teams. And Ravens missed it, but they're potentially a playoff team, if they can stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 playoff teams.
Woo! Shit's real, homie. 9 playoff teams.
You guys
That's 9 losses historically.
You know the last time the Cowboys missed the playoffs 3 straight seasons in a row?
8.
2000, 99, 2000, 2001. 5-11, 5-11, 5-11.
2002. Campo.
Yeah, 5-11, 5-11, 5-11.
Yep.
Oh, did.
Yep, it's been a minute. 25 years.
Wow. We made the playoffs with 8-8, 8-8, 8-8 in one of those years under Jason Garrett.
I think it was 99. We made it at 8-8 in 99.
No. Under Jason Garrett, when we went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8.
No playoffs.
Oh, no playoffs.
So that was 3 times in a row there.
Oh yeah. 2015 they were terrible. You're talking about 2012, 2013?
Yes.
There it is. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it up to Jason Garrett.
Simeon Thomas, what's up, man? I'm gonna unmute you, bro. What you got? I hope you cut that. You must have YouTube up.
Oh, yeah, y'all can hear me, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, how y'all doing? It's great, me again, Mr. JB. As y'all were explaining about the schedule, I, I can see where the whole. I already figured where the low bar is gonna be. Worst case scenario, 6 to 8 wins. That's kind of a given. Somehow, I guess you could say the high might be maybe no worse than 10. Maybe somehow if we pull that off, um, it'll pretty much just be maybe wild card, maybe division. Maybe somehow we get to 11 wins, we might possibly win the division. May get to the playoffs. Then after that, the hope is that Dallas can find a way to stay into the playoffs, but it's always going to be touch and go there. But obviously, I think the hope is that if they can survive New York and beat them, get to Washington, beat them those 2 games, and somehow find a way to beat Baltimore, maybe start 3-0. Worst case scenario, because maybe maybe best case scenario, maybe going 3-0, maybe might be a confidence boost. But of course, that's the best case scenario because once you get to Houston, that could be rough. Tampa could be rough trying to go on that short week. Then got to find a way to fucking beat the Packers on the road. Got to find a way to beat the Eagles on Monday Night Football. But at least between Green Bay and Philadelphia, I think we have an easier time against. We might have a chance against Philadelphia, maybe more than Green Bay, as much as I fucking hate it. But Arizona, fucking hate that we still couldn't beat these guys. Colts could take them on. Colts, we could take them on, but of course that's 50-50. Damn it. If we had anybody other than Dak, I think we beat San Francisco.
Mm.
Maybe by somebody else. Tennessee might be that could be 50-50, but I think in best case scenario we can hang with them. The Eagles on Thanksgiving will find a way to show up there. Maybe we split with them. Maybe we find a way to sweep them if somehow the Eagles don't get themselves together after, if they don't find a way to recover, especially since AJ Brown's New England. But I think we could take them on. Seahawks, that Monday Night Football game, that could be iffy because if Seattle is still able to, be competitive, with Sam Darnold and everything else, that could be a game. And I know Lawrence wants us to get back against Dallas for that. But if they got issues, I think we can take them on. The Rams, that's also going to be fucking hard to do because Garrett's gonna be in the mix, but if the Rams if they somehow, even if they're able to hold on to the West, but if they got some issues like if Stafford's not there, Garrett's not there, something has to prove it. Don't want that to happen. But as Mr. Sport itself says, injuries happen to everybody, even to the best of teams. And you hope that doesn't happen, but it happens. But maybe somehow that might be a 50-50 game. Who the fuck knows? And everything else down the stretch, Jacksonville and New York and Washington, I think maybe those games are good. I think maybe the back of Washington, New York, maybe we could take them on, but then again, who the fuck knows there? Jacksonville, we could take them on, but that's also tricky too. So, like I said, I already know the low end is already going to be 6 to 8 wins. Worst case scenario, maybe 9, but still miss the playoffs. Best case scenario, somehow we find a way. Dallas finds a way to win 10 or 11 wins somehow. 10 might maybe push them in maybe push them for a wild card for a playoff spot. But if they find a way to somehow get 11 wins somehow, or 12 wins somehow, it puts them in an easy try to division. And probably wouldn't say easy try, but it puts them in. It makes it easy for them to win a division and maybe get to the playoffs, depending on if nobody else in the East could do anything, or anybody else can do anything in the schedule. But again, that's what I got at least for that moment.
We would have to win a division, point blank. And
Exactly.
that's questionable to me, us winning the division.
And I understand that.
I see like 7 games, bro. We're gonna do another 5-11, 5-11, 5-11, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 7-7, 7. We went 7-10, 7-9-1, and we're gonna go 7-10 again. That's what I see.
And again, that's a given. Like I said, the low end that's already would have been an established given by that point out. But I put out this if somehow that happens and miss the playoffs, like I said before, 2027 quarterback class right there. I don't care who's if we don't get even Arch or Dante Moore, like fuck. I'll take Lenore Sellers over Dak right now. Can't do no
Mm,
worse. And it'd be cheaper. Might have a chance to actually get better, but nobody else takes them. And start
yeah,
actually
we ain't gonna draft a quarterback until Dak is gone. I mean, a quarterback that's gonna be about some first round, high second, first round quarterback. I don't think we're gonna draft that until Dak is gone, and that's gonna be unfortunate.
I agree. I think Jerry's too.
I don't think so.
Unless they get lucky round quarterback again, like I guess you could say they did with Dak, and Romo was an undrafted guy. But well, I'm gonna play glass half full here for a little bit. All right, let's brighten this mood a little bit. Let's look at last year. I would say there were 4 games that could have gone either way. Right? You look at that first Philly game, winnable game, right? 24-20.
Right.
Miles Sanders fumbles, inside the red zone. Could have won that game, right?
Mhm.
Green Bay tie. Probably should have won that game.
Yeah, we should have.
Carolina, if Shoddy actually calls some good red zone plays, could have won that game, right? If we actually played the Giants in Week 18, probably would have won that game if we would have, put our starters in for the entire game. And then you could argue there was one other game I looked at that could have gone our way. I think it was, that's it. That's 4 wins right there. So you get 11 wins in the NFL, right? So who's to say that with the middle of the road defense, you can't have a few balls bounce your way? I mean, they were worse in turnover differential last year. They were -9. And those 12-5 teams, they were top 5 in turnover differential. Each of those. So they got to turn the ball over. Just get more opportunities for the offense. And that's what I'm banking on. What's up, buddy? You agree, Zeke? My cat's name is Zeke.
Oh shit.
Well, that's good to know. But I do agree with you. Sports 78 there, and which in a way that's kind of basically what they're basing the hope on with this defense is that because you think back in 2020, said the same turnaround was that the defense of 2020 was also historically bad, but then of course Dan Quinn comes in, get Michael Parsons. All of a sudden, the defense finds a way to become top 10 from that point on, especially in terms of sacks and turnover differentials. And that's kind of what they're hoping. They're kind of hoping something similar to at least, make it work with Parker. Maybe not to improve dramatically, but maybe the hope is that they could be middle of the pack and, find a way to make a stop when they have to, or get a turnover to when they have to. So, and maybe they can if the defense can find a way to do that, then the offense can stay the same and still be top 10. And hopefully they can get it together, score in the red zone, and start and play better from, the first half, the second half. And those things can happen. Those wins, hopefully, maybe turn around. But my fear is, like I said, with the Christian Parker scenario, is that, it's not how the scenario goes. Right. I would hope he succeeds, but it's true. He hasn't called a game before. And worst case scenario, there's going to be some games where I don't know how the game. You don't know how the game's going to go, and the defense can struggle, and then we're going to have to depend on the offense to kind of score points to make it a game, like we saw in Carolina right there. But even in that Carolina game you referenced, the defense, in a few instances, they made a stop. They were, Carolina got the ball. When they had the ball, they were moving the ball, but they stopped and held to a field goal. They fucking forced a turnover. Donovan Wilson's ass was able to make that play happen, and then the reason the Cowboys got it, was able to take the lead because defense forced a turnover, and they had not one but 2 stops late in that game. Where if the offense was better in those instances, they would have won. And they were doing just all right doing that. But so, in the end of the third quarter, Dak fumbled the ball and got it back. But it just seems like after that, they just got stupid down the stretch and then couldn't do anything. And where you referenced about last year's games, I can say Minnesota, if we were still better offensively throughout that whole stretch, and Minnesota's defense wasn't anything better than, wasn't statistically better than Dallas's last year. The offense was just better in that instance, along with, and instead of had to rely on Arby, blaming Arby missing on 2 kicks. If the offense was just better overall, they would have probably had a chance to win that game last year. So there's going to be some games like that this year where the defense will be good, but it's still young. It's going to make mistakes. And Parker, he'll have some good calls, but he's going to have bad calls. But we paid Dak this much money and had and everything tied to the offense, where there's going to be a scenario where we're going to need them to win the game, or at least not be the reason we lose. But if he can't, but if that doesn't show up and the offense doesn't produce and we lose, who's going to more likely take the blame? Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and we know this defense is going to need work anyway. So But in my thing is they're gonna throw Parker out under the bus if this defense doesn't find a way to become top 10 or play like Tuesday in the playoffs. Other than the fact that, well, but again, other than them just not to consider the fact that, oh, this defense will have, they'll have good games. They're gonna have bad games because it's a brand new defense with a brand new defensive coordinator. And again, we tied everything up to Dak and the offense. We picked they're gonna have that they're gonna have to carry the load, and make it happen. If Dak's all that, he should be able to make his money making those things happen. But the problem is though, seen enough 10 years of like, nah, I want somebody else to play quarterback other than him.
I totally agree, man. Yeah. What you got, corner? And at the corner, man, you give your opinion, man. We're gonna give our little last thoughts, man. I'm gonna, what I'm saying, get up out of here. But go ahead, corner.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I like what the sports said. Trying to look at the optimism here, but here's where I'm struggling to look at the optimism. Last year was last year, right? We could have won 4 games, but when I'm looking at the offense now, they have 17 games of film. They and on top of that, they didn't upgrade anything. I mean, you look at the players they brought in here: Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Matt Hennessy, Sam Howell, Drew Shelton, the Penn State offensive tackle, Anthony Smith, and then your undrafted free agent guys who's supposed to make an impact was Michael Trigg and Jordan Hudson, the wide receiver at SMU. That doesn't move the needle for me, right? So not only do you have 17 games of film with Schottenheimer calling plays, you still have the penalties. You still had the 21 turnovers. You still had bad left tackle play. You didn't upgrade your left tackle. All those players that still had all these penalties are still here. Pre-snap penalties, false starts, holdings, illegal hands to the face. All those penalties, those guys are still here. So I'm more looking at this like what we talked about earlier in the show. How does Schottenheimer get his game plans ready? That all plays into it. But my fear is this offense ain't going to be what it is because we got 9 playoff teams we're playing against, and they have 17 games of film study on a Schottenheimer offense. And we know Schottenheimer's not creative. He didn't get creative in the red zone. He didn't get creative with things, right? He's still doing end-around play calling with CeeDee Lamb. That's my fear.
I totally agree with that, man. You got anything on that to sport?
No, that's fair. That's definitely fair. I think we spoke about it earlier on. I think this is a big year for him. Is he going to adjust knowing that opposing defense is going to have a full year of film on his offense? I don't have confidence that he will do enough. Not solely just because of from a personnel standpoint. I think you could argue that the Cowboys might have the best wide receiver trio in the NFL with Lamb, Pickens, and Flanoy. I think that's at least top 5, you could say. I think Flanoy is a fine third wide receiver, but teams know that. At least you could roll coverage to one of those guys, and I think the running game is not going to be as good this year. Just like we spoke about the lack of depth, but I think it is a big year for Schottenheimer. I think really turnovers has to be the differing stat from last year to this year. They need to have a few balls bounce their way that didn't go their way last year. But if you look at the schedule, just looking at Schottenheimer from a coaching standpoint, how many games do the Cowboys have an advantage at head coach versus the opposing team? I couldn't even put 5 fingers up and say there are 5 games where Cowboys have a head coaching advantage with Brian Schottenheimer, right? There are a few teams where they're playing teams with new head coaches. I think they're playing, Arizona with Mike LaFleur. You could say Tennessee. They hired a new head coach. Other than that, is there one that really stands out that says, hey, Dallas, they're going to outcoach these guys? No, even the Colts. I like Steichen with the Colts. I think he's made, chicken salad out of chicken shit there with what they've had at quarterback. The Giants have a legit head coach now. I think Liam Cohen, I think he's a really good coach with the Jaguars. So I think just looking at Schottenheimer, for everybody wants to focus on Christian Parker. I think Schottenheimer is going to be a big problem this year, just matching up against other head coaches in the league. Forget talking about playoffs. I'm just talking about regular season. I don't have enough confidence in him to really outduel head coaches and really develop a good offensive game plan from week to week. So I second what you said, corner. I'm with pretty much full agreement on what you said.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right, so what you got on this, man? We're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate everybody. Let me get your take on this.
All right. But I get what Sports 78 and Cowboys Corner is saying in terms of coaching. This is going to be, you sum it up a break. It's going to have, Schottenheimer's got no choice but to kind of make this thing work. Not just, of course, it's not just part of our park. Schottenheimer's going to have to eventually make this work, and considering the circumstances that are going his way, because is going his way, especially in terms of how, we're supposed to see this offense step up in year 2 and maybe an adjustment here and there. But like I said, there's going to be coaching, issues. Like I said, the red zone offense is going to have to get taken straightened out. The hopes that the running game is going to have to be stable. But then one is going to have to consider the possibility that, like, as we said before, this is the same offense with the same quarterback for years, other than a change here and there. So our thought would be, what would happen if we had another quarterback that wasn't Dak? Could he basically make it work with somebody else? Consider we are no Dak's limitations for years. Could he Schottenheimer make it work with somebody else other than help? We don't know unless we cross that Rubicon. We're going to have to sooner or later. But at the end of it all, yeah, they're going to have to hope to find a way to put everything work, make everything work, because the schedule on paper is going to look rough, but we won't know how everything's going to shake out with everybody until the season starts, because the season just pencil everybody like the Rams as Super Bowl contenders, but we don't even know how to, even with the additions they made, that's a guarantee. But in our end, we're going to have no choice they're going to have no choice not to just stay healthy, but to make sure everybody steps up. Like I said, including our $60 million, supposedly top 10 quarterback, where and hopefully, in Schottenheimer's case, he's going to have no choice but to find a way to at least get 10 or 11 wins. If he can at least make that Rubicon happen, maybe find a way to stay and make the game, maybe, get into the playoffs, make a playoff game at least competitive, where we don't get, fucked up like we did against Green Bay the other year, then maybe we could say, okay, maybe we give him another chance. But if it ends up becoming, but if it ends up being like last year, there's no doubt there's gonna be issues with him, and then his ass gonna be on the line for that.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. I gotta say about Shotty, man, I never really believed in him. So, and I agree with what you said, corner, the sport, you too, Samuel. I totally agree, man. Shotty got to prove a lot to me, and I can't wait to see this first game against the Giants, man. What our defense gonna do, and it's just that throw in there what we talked about with Shotty. What is he gonna do? But I appreciate your corner. Appreciate the 78. Appreciate you, Samuel. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We'll do this again, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. Yes,
It's great, man, y'all. It's great, man, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Peace.